I've got another Sutton Park here photograph I'm going to use for today's painting. So I'm going to go straight in. I'm going to wet it too much. This is just clear water on Fabriano paper. I'm still waiting for my raw sienna to come, so I'm almost down to the bare bones now with the raw sienna. I'm hoping it will arrive tomorrow, but it's a good exercise to try and paint with alternative colours. You know, expand your repertoire. So just a very simple ultramarine sky, and then a little bit of blue down there, because that little puddle I showed you at the start, I might try and expand that, just try and get a few reflections. I did wet it, I've wet it slightly more than I wanted to actually, because I'm not really doing any blending in the sky or anything like that, so I didn't really need to wet it that much. So I'm going to start off with the distant trees. I've got quite thick paint here because I need to compensate for the, that's maybe a bit too thick, just compensating for the water that's already on the paper. It's also quite strong, doesn't matter. And up there, and back there again, a bit up, stick that up a little bit more. And then, I'm not going to see too much round there, that's going to be covered in some foreground trees around here, so I'm not worried too much about the right hand side or the left hand side here, because that's going to be covered in a few bushes. I can just about see, actually it's too wet yet, see I can try and scrape in the trunk, but because it's still wet, it's just filling in. I need to wait for that to dry a little bit. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, I might just clean the brush. I'm just going to go into lemon yellow. Just add a little bit of grass here and there. And the path sort of curves round right up to the edge there, so just a few dabs here and there. Just going to dilute that down slightly, I don't want it too strong. Very, very blue this mix down there. Just trying to get some variation. Looking at the photograph, all this is the same, but I'm trying to vary it as much as I can to keep it interesting. I'll just clean the brush again. Back to that lemon yellow. See now, just change it back again. Push it up into that blue, just blend it in. Just do a little bit on the other side. You can't really see much around there. It's going to be covered in bushes, but I'll just pop it there, just for now. In fact, I'll just put the bushes over it. In the meantime, this has dried slightly, so I can pop these trunks in there. You can see now it's dried a bit. That's going in a lot better. A big one up there. Don't want to overdo this. Just trying to keep it subtle. Don't get too mad with the scraping out. Just here and there. Just give the impression of the sort of light catching the tree trunks in the distance. Might just leave it there actually. Back to the lemon yellow. just a tad of burnt umber. Just diluting that now, just to soften it off. Back into the lemon yellow. So I'm just trying to vary it as much as I can. Bring this down, and then I'm going to put the bushes and the trees over the top of it. Bit of ultramarine, so you just change it to a nice green there. A bit on this side. So a touch of burnt umber, and again you see it's just changing it again. Clean the brush. Take the excess off on the tea towel, back into the lemon yellow, just to keep varying it. Now the packet sort of sweeps around like that. And a bit more on this side. Before I go any further, the paper has stretched slightly, so I'm just going to pull it flat against this board. So there's a bit of ultramarine to this green, just to get some variation. Maybe even just touching the light red there. And then what I may do, well, then we've got the mud, so I'm just going to, I've still got the greens on there, but I'm just going into the burnt umber. What I might do is just give it a quick sweep and then go in with a damp brush to just soften it off a bit, depending on what it looks like. I'm just going burnt umber, bit of ultramarine, just a tab of lemon yellow, and I'm just trying to work out, I'm just doing like a, let's just do it. Bang it in. The quicker you do it, the better. So it's getting pretty dark. So what I'm going to do now is just clean the brush, take the excess off on the tea towel, and then just soften it off a little bit. A little bit up there. Just blended it in as well, pushing it up to the grass, and then anything else around here just needs a little touch up here and there. That's the sort of main backdrop now. So now I've got that in, I'm just going to give it a quick dry, and then I'll start putting some bushes over here. First thing I'm going to do, just want to make sure it is flat, and then I'll get the air dried out. Stick your fingers in your ears for 10 seconds. Doesn't have to be bone dry, as long as it's there or thereabouts. Just that this next layer can go on a bit thicker now. So just over here we've got some bushes. In fact, just in front of them we've got some. Just looking up there, there's just a little bit of something. Just trying to blend it in with me. Just experimenting really. You can use anything to create marks on your paper. Just experiment with different things. I've heard of people using windscreen wipers. Some on this side. I'm just dabbing that light red and just being Just trying to keep it sore. Anyway, into the water, clean the brush, take the excess off on the towel. And I want a really strong green there. So let's start with the, so yeah, see that's too light. So I'm going to add a bit of ultramarine to it. So it like that, it looks a bit better. Always add a bit of Payne's grey as well, just to really darken it. That's going up there. Just on the edge of our little path. And a bit of umber in front of that, a bit of light red as well, just to get another layer in. See how it's changed colour? More light red. And then what I want to do now is you've got a tree, so I'm going to put the trunk in. So I'm just going burnt umber, ultramarine, try and get a chisel edge. And then we got the tree goes up there. I'm just twisting it as to how I think I've got the best edge. My brush is now well worn. I've got a new one in the post, so hopefully I might have that tomorrow or Friday. So I'll be able to show you the difference between a worn brush and a new one. Bit of burnt umber. I'll switch to the little brush, a bit more water. And there's like a whole load of branches coming off this. I'm just going to try and pop those in until I get tired of them. And a big, as you push down hard, you'll get a thicker stroke, and then as you lift off it gets lighter and lighter with this little rigger brush. There's very few. I might just do a very little bit of light dry brushwork on this, just to suggest the odd dead leaf on there. Maybe a bit of light red burnt umber. So that's got the main skeleton in. I just want to make the base here just a little bit thicker because it didn't look very strong, this tree. That's all. And there's also, before I do that, let's just, there's things on the floor here, just I think it's something fell over here, like a tree trunk or something fallen over. And there's a few little bits of grasses here, just flicking them up. Right, let's put the couple of dead leaves on this thing. So I've just squeezed the water out like that, and then just took the rest off with a tea towel. And then, so I've got a clean brush like that, hair's scuffed all over the place, and I'm just dabbing them into the colours that I want. I'm just giving light red, burnt umber. You can see there's not much paint on there, so now I can just lightly dab, maybe darken that up a bit with a bit of ultramarine. You see how it's, I'm just sort of twisting the brush around as well, trying to get random patterns as I'm going around the tree. Because it's dry, I'm not blocking it all in great big dollops of paint, and so you can see through the tree. And then while that's on there, I might just here and there, just give the hints of something growing. Something there along the path. By the trees. Something down there. A bit more light red, ultramarine. Something down there like that. Right, next there's another tree on this right hand side. So I want it dark, so I'm not going to bother cleaning the brush. Just added just a touch of water, just to loosen it up because it was too dry. I've just got burnt umber, ultramarine, just to make it dark. And this time, just pop in a little tree on this side. Just try not to do the branches too thick. So I'll put them in with that, and then I'll switch to the little brush. Just trying to get random strokes, stuff going in all directions. Somewhere else in there, and let's put a few. I could have done that one at the same time actually. To be honest, I didn't actually see it in the photograph. I've just seen it behind the two foreground trunks. So I'm just going to again just squeeze the water out, scuff it up on the tea towel, and back into the burnt umber, bit of light red. And then just the odd dead leaf here and there. A few on the ground down there. Some over there. Well, they're scattered all over the place. While that's drying, let's just stick the odd little stone here and there. Always looks quite effective. Makes up the dark blobs of colour. Just a bit of ultramarine, just add a bit of dark tint to some of these. And what I might do is clean the brush, take the excess water off again, and just go back into that lemon yellow. It's a little bit more water than I wanted, but not to worry. I'm just going to, it's too watery. A bit drier. Mixing it all together, just experimenting really, just to see what it looks like. Let's just mix this up as well. Just whacking lemon yellow straight in. Bit of green down here as well. Right, next we have, there's a couple of big tree trunks now going up. I was going to dry it first. So I'm back into the burnt umber, ultramarine. I want a dark mix, maybe a touch of light red as well. I'm going to put a sort of dark foreground tree trunk in. I'm running out of paints there. Just trying to get as much of that ultramarine on the brush as I can. So there's a couple down there, but I'm trying to work out. I don't want to. Oh, let's put it in there. How does that look? Something like that. Just the one. Should I have another one? Where should it go? I'll put the other one in as well. They look a bit parallel, don't they? I've even done those where the branch break at the same place. Not to worry. Let's stick actually, let's just make it a little bit different. So that comes up like that. And back to the little brush. Bit of brown, bit of blue. And stings. Up there like that, and coming down. Some of the branches come right up off the top of the paper. While I'm at it, I was going to put some leaves on that, but I might just leave it actually. What I will do, however, let's put that puddle in. I forgot all about the puddle actually. I'm just getting blue. I just want blue on its own. Let's have the puddle down here somewhere. That might be a little bit too dark actually. Just lightening it up a little bit. Just a bit of burnt umber on the edges, just to. We've got some wood. A few little rocks again, just surrounding our little, almost like a pond. So just reflecting some of that in the water. Blending in a bit too much. What I need, I meant to put a bush or something there that I could reflect into the water. Actually, let's use this. I'm just going to put like a little, just something there. Just Not the prettiest thing I've ever painted. So let's just put that reflection in there. I'm just trying to follow the general outline. It doesn't have to be exact, as long as it's there or thereabouts. Just gives the idea that something reflected there in the water. A few grasses here and there. Reflect those down as well. Somewhere else over there. More little rocks here and there. Might have overdone it with the rocks, never mind. Little bits of mud scattered out. I might put some shadows in there, so I'm just going to give that a quick draw. Up my shadow colour, which I'm just going to go, I don't want too much water. The shadows I did yesterday, I think they were a bit weak, too weak, they didn't show up very well, so I'll try and make a bit stronger today. Got burnt umber, light red, and a bit of ultramarine. This will be my shadow colour. And you're just getting that balance right of paint and water, the right ratio. So let's give this a bash. So I'm going to imagine that the light, sort of over here in this corner. So it's going to come down like this, and it's just going to catch the reserve marker here like that. And if we catch that one there, and that there, just darken them. It's coming over here, and it's putting all this in shadow, coming across there, got the shadow there. Also so the odd bit of shadow around there. Little shadows by these rocks. very, very light. Just the odd bit. A bit here and there, just blend, soften it off with my finger. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that for now. And then the only other thing now I want to add is pop our little man in. Little man walking off. It's just round here, just walking around the corner. A little bit too strong, that was. It's still a bit strong. Pop his legs in. Little head. And then just about see his dog. There, and then obviously they also need a shadow, so we got one off the man there, and one off the dog. And then last but not least, we've got our little bird up in the sky. I'm going to call that one finished. I'll just pop my name in there. Put my name down there in the corner. I'll do it down here, I think. So let's see what that looks like with the mounts on. So there's the painting with the mounts on. Here's the photograph I was using. So after the simple sky, the first thing to put in was these distant trees and bushes. You can just about see the light tree trunks here and there. So I put those in using the same colours as the sky, with a bit of burnt umber in there as well. And you can see where I've just scraped out a few trunks. I had to wait for it to dry because it was too wet when the first time I tried it. And then underneath there we've got these sort of dry, dead looking grass. Just used a bit of very light diluted lemon yellow. And just tried to vary it slightly with a bit of ultramarine here and there. Same on the other left hand side, you can't see too much behind these bushes. And then down I've tried to make more of a feature of these puddles. I think I've put it into, looking back, if I'd have made this a bit lighter, I think it may have looked a bit better then, rather than putting it in that sort of dark looking blue. Also I think something a bit thinner, bit more subtle than this great big ugly V-shape thing. Then on the left here we got this tree filling in this section. So just put it nice and simply, and then little brush for the twigs, and then just a bit of dry brush work, bit of burnt umber light red to suggest a few dead leaves on there. Another one on the right hand side, bit more dry brush work, a few little twigs and dead leaves. Got these big two foreground trees here on the right. To be honest, they're not really adding a fat lot to the scene. Might have been better leaving those out. Then we've got our muddy path just winding its way to the trees on the horizon. This leads to our little figure walking the dog. Try to break up these dark muddy areas. A bit of scraping with the car, just to suggest a few rocks here and there. And then finally we got the shadows put in, as if they're coming from this sort of direction, straight across. A few more, and got the shadow in there from that tree. Again, also with the rocks scraping them in, and it looks like the shadows coming down onto the underside. Well, that's it for today. I hope you like that. Thanks for watching. I've got new videos out most weekdays, Monday to Friday, so hit the subscribe button if you want to be notified of that. This, just like every other painting, is available in my eBay shop. You'll see the link in the description. You can help me by liking and commenting, sharing the video. So until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.